It says you are live. Now I got to get that over. All right. Good evening, guys. I want to make this audience participation. So I've sent the email out to a bunch. Let me get the link and put it in here. Invite. Okay. Copy to clipboard. Get rid of that. Put it in there. It says watch on YouTube page. Why does it say? All right, there it is. I'm showing guys, my YouTube is not showing it. Hey, Mitch, wanna pop on? Oh, Kenny. I needed to get that email out to Kenny, too. I'm not showing this on YouTube at all. Well, if it can go wrong, it will go wrong. Hey, Mel.
You're live on YouTube. I was just looking at it from my phone.
I couldn't find it.
Yeah. Just go to your channel and it'll show that you're live.
I went to that link, the link it gave me at the bottom.
Yeah.
And it said it wasn't live, but whatever.
Yeah, just go to your channel and then you can pop out the chat from there. But you should be able to see the chat. You should be able to see the live comments and the chat. See, I can look at both. I can look at the live comments or the private chat in StreamYards itself.
All right. So, right. Okay, I got it now. The other day, people were asking me about Osmo Action live streaming.
Uh-huh.
Can you go over that again, please?
Sure. Be happy to. But
and anybody who wants to jump in.
I got to give the credit to Dennis Lovelady, though, because he's the one that showed me how to do this.
Hey, Art.
Art. Get centered on your camera, Art.
Jim, if you could change the perspective a little bit.
Okay.
Art.
There we go.
There you go. Yeah, you had to center your camera up a little, Art.
I haven't done this, Art, since Hangovers. What was that other one?
Hangouts.
Yeah.
Hangovers. Yeah.
Mitch says he'll be here in 10 minutes. Okay.
All right. Cool.
And hey, Peter Carroll.
Yeah, Jim, you made a good point. I wanted to ask Mel about streaming with an action camera. I think Lloyd solved my issue. I think my issue is I had to go use not Wi-Fi on my phone, but my airtime.
Well, you have to use both. The Wi-Fi connection has to connect to the camera.
Right.
And your internet on your phone has to be able to connect you to YouTube.
Right.
And you do that via Streamlabs.
Right.
Okay.
I use that, and I use MobiZen because that's
that and also DU Recorder will do it, I believe.
Okay.
But it's really easy. And let me get.
Is that the one that will show your on-screen display, DU Recorder?
Yeah, I think so.
Hey, Mitch.
Hey guys, how you doing, man? What a surprise! What a surprise tonight.
Talk about another old guy trying to get it together. That's me. It wasn't showing me live, Mitch, when I hit the YouTube link. It says watch live on your page, so I clicked that.
It should come up. I mean, I was sitting out finishing my cigar on the patio, and I had you on the TV, and it said waiting for, and
Right.
if you went live, boom, it came right up live.
Right.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool beans. We got Al Diaz. I tried to talk him into coming on. We'll see if he'll come on. Got a couple of things I want to talk about tonight.
Okay, cool.
And I want to keep it down to an hour so people won't get sick of us.
Actually, I think people like it when we go longer than an hour.
You can tell, you watch your viewer count when it starts going like 15, 14, 13, 10, 7, 2, it's time to say goodnight.
Yeah. When your viewer count takes a swan dive, it's time to go swimming.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. How you doing, Mel?
I'm doing good, Mitch. How are you?
I'm peachy.
Okay, let me see if I can make this other camera work.
Okay.
Hey, Rick Alba joined us. I'm sorry, Rick. You were up at the top. I didn't even see you.
Hello, Rick.
And Rick, I'm going to discuss that CyberLink Director Suite issue we were talking about. Something I learned from Kenny Cardoso, actually. Issue we were talking about. I hear that. What are you showing us, Mel? Oh, yeah, you can show us the hookup.
Yeah. Okay. So here I've got my Osmo action camera.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And because the Mimo app is proprietary with the orientation of the app as far as landscape or portrait.
Yeah, it won't rotate, right?
Yeah. So what I've done is to solve that so that I end up right side up on the YouTube feed, I turn the camera up so that the lens is actually up like that in that position. I don't know if you can tell that that's what I'm doing, but
right.
It's sitting in the vertical position.
Sitting vertical, yeah. So then what you do is, and I'll just go ahead and hold this, and then when I create this stream, it's going to go to my actual YouTube channel. So let me have to
now, are you doing that RTMP custom?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
Maybe
because that's
right.
what you have to set it up that way.
Okay, that's
to do it through Streamlabs, OBS, right?
Right.
Okay, yeah, you're not using a drone, so yeah, you don't have to do custom and then RTMP. You're doing it through Streamlabs or OBS or
OBS Streamlabs, but you still have to do the RTMP server, and you have to do it the same way that you would if you were doing it with a drone. It's exactly the same process. So I'm going to change the title of this. So when you set up from your drone,
hey guy, okay, Al, never mind. Keep going.
And you use RTMP, you have to preset the title for your video in your YouTube channel, right?
Right.
So I'm going to put testing live with Osmo Action Mimo app.
So you're putting your RTMP YouTube link in there and then the YouTube key in there.
Well, that's already in Streamlabs. Okay.
Okay.
In my tablet. What I'm doing now is I'm in my YouTube channel, and let me. I'll show you what I mean by. I'll share my screen. Share screen. This one. Share. Now you have to allow the screen to be shared.
There.
Okay. So now, no.
I don't see you moving.
You gotta. You're not sharing my screen yet. you're showing my camera view.
Oh, that's the other. It actually brought you up in another
There
screen.
you go. Okay, now are you seeing my?
Yeah.
Okay, so you go to your YouTube studio, you set your title, okay?
Right.
You set your comment, what's it called? Description box.
Yeah.
Make sure it's set to public,
Right.
and so you set that all up ahead of time, okay?
Right.
Now I'm going to stop sharing, because that's what you do when you go live with your drone. You go to your YouTube channel, you set everything up. When you go live with RTMP, I want to make sure I keep clarifying that.
It's real-time messaging protocol, Rick Albert.
That's what that stands for, and it's an option in all streaming platforms, okay? So
now in Go or Go 4, it would be, you would use custom. Instead of using the YouTube button, you would use custom.
It's still custom. That's what it is. It's custom RTMP. It's just, that's what it's called. We always just say RTMP because that's the official, air quote, official name, right?
Right.
Okay. So I don't know how well you can see my tablet screen on this other camera. This is how now you don't need to use RTMP if you're streaming from your computer under 1,000 subscribers. You only have to use it if you're streaming to YouTube under 1,000 subscribers from a mobile device. Okay, from your computer, you can live stream under 1,000 subs.
Right.
To stream from a mobile device, YouTube blocked that, so you can't just, Yahoo can't grab his phone, go live on YouTube and go, hey, look at the dead bodies in the whores on 2nd Street, and whatever the case is.
Yeah, I couldn't even do it on the Crystal Sky.
You can, and if you couldn't do it on the Crystal Sky, you're doing something wrong, because I do it on mine, so I know it can be done. Anyway,
sideload the Google Chrome app.
Yeah.
APK onto Crystal Sky.
Chrome APK onto the Crystal Sky. That's right. Okay, so we have our camera.
Right.
So I'm going to turn my camera on. God, I haven't used it in a while. I hope it's got some battery. Oh, yeah, 97%. Okay. So now the camera is on.
Got mine on.
And I'm going to go to Streamlabs app. Okay.
Now, can you use this with other ones too? Other apps?
DU recorder, anything that'll do screen recording. Hey, Al.
Okay.
Hey, Al. I'm trying to say hello to Al with sign language.
I'm trying to figure this out, guys. This is quite confusing.
You're not actually streaming from the camera because the camera has no internet capability. It only has a Wi-Fi connection, and it connects Wi-Fi to your mobile device, whatever mobile device you're using, phone, tablet, it doesn't matter. None of that matters. Once you have your YouTube stream information set up in Streamlabs, you make sure, so I'm going to go to settings and I'm going to go to Wi-Fi, and I am connected to my Osmo Action. It tells me here, you're not seeing it on the screen, but it shows that it's connected to the Osmo Action. And
now let me interrupt you for a second. Rodney Bell is in the chat.
Yeah,
hey, Rodney, how you doing?
How you doing, Rodney? Hope you're feeling all right.
I texted with Rodney a little bit ago. His surgery is Thursday at 7 a.m. and he's in good spirits and he's happy. And I let him know that we'd all be here tonight so he could come in. I don't think he knew. Okay, so howdy, Rodney. Glad you made it. Thumbs up.
All right, I'm connected to my camera.
Okay, once you got your camera connected. Now, I don't know in some devices, but with an Apple device, when you slide down in the top right corner, you get a special menu to do screen recording, because that's what you're actually doing, is you're recording the screen of the mobile device. Okay? With Apple, if you just tap the screen record icon, it'll start screen recording. But what you need to do to get your options for all your broadcasting capabilities is press and hold that option. And then what you end up with is an option of screen record photos or Streamlabs, right? You see, I have Streamlabs check marked, so I have that chosen. So then I'm going to leave the microphone off, but there's another little button to turn the microphone on. All right. So then you just tap the button that says screen recording at the very top. And what that does is, if I could tap it, what do I do? What am I doing wrong? Oh, tap Streamlabs. Oh, right there in front of me, start broadcast. Okay. So I'm going to start the broadcast with Streamlabs. Now, my tablet is now streaming to my YouTube channel. Okay. Then what I do is simply go to the Mimo app.
What's going on, fellas?
What's up, Adrian? How you doing?
Hey, Adrian.
Hey, Adrian.
Everyone in the chat, how you
What's going
doing?
on, Mitch? Art,
So I'm gonna
Mel,
open the I'm
Hey
gonna
there.
open the Mimo app, and I'm gonna connect to the Osmo action camera, and it found it, and then it's going
Sorry,
to.
I don't want to be rude. What's going on, Jim?
Hey, buddy. Look, I'm waiting for him to get done with this presentation.
It's it wants to join the Wi-Fi network. You know, allow the camera to join the network. So you have to click join, and it takes it a second to get all the connections made. And once you do that, now, if you were to go to my YouTube channel, you would see me being live using this camera here, the Osmo Action, to broadcast to my YouTube channel. Because right now it's live on my YouTube channel. And what I can do is I'll go to my YouTube channel.
Now,
and
can Art's camera or any other camera also do this?
any Wi-Fi camera,
Okay.
your device has to be Wi-Fi enabled, the camera,
Right.
and your mobile device must be able to be connected to the Wi-Fi connection of the camera and have its own internet service. It has to have its own internet to be able to. What is that noise? Oh,
Somebody's making dinner.
that's dinner cooking. Okay.
Yes, I am.
So as long as you have internet service on your mobile device, Wi-Fi connection to your camera, and it doesn't matter if it's a really high dollar camera or
So any camera with Wi-Fi.
a cheapy action camera. Okay. It doesn't matter. Any Wi-Fi camera. The Osmo Pocket with the Wi-Fi adapter will do the exact same thing. The Mavic Mini is a Wi-Fi camera. You can connect, you can install Streamlabs on your mobile device that you fly your Mavic Mini with, start the broadcast, open the DJI Fly app for the Mavic Mini. It's connected to the device with Wi-Fi because that's what you're flying the drone with. And you will be broadcasting whatever's on the screen of the mobile device. You're not actually broadcasting from the camera because it's not capable of doing that.
Only what's on your screen.
What's on the tablet screen
Right.
is what's being broadcast on YouTube. Because what you're doing is you're capturing the video from your camera and then you're broadcasting that capture to the internet. So what my YouTube channel is seeing right now is what's being captured on my tablet screen. So if I was to turn my camera toward that screen and show all of you guys in your channel chat, that's what would be going out on my YouTube channel right now.
How's that working out, Art?
I'm still having issues.
Are you doing?
It only works from my phone. I can't seem to get to connect with my camera.
And for some reason, I'm not seeing that I'm live on my.
No, I went and looked. I went and looked for you, Mel, and didn't see it.
Are you public
What do you
or
mean?
private?
Hopefully, it's set to public.
Oh,
It should be. Yeah, it's not showing that I'm live. That's interesting. I'm supposed to be live right now.
mm-hmm.
Well, I can see that you're alive because you're right there in front of us.
So right now, your camera should be broadcasting to YouTube.
It should be, according to. Let me double check. Maybe I'm not live in.
Kenny says you're live on Pornhub.
Oh, darn, Mel, you had last night's RTMP address in there.
Does that change?
Well, if you
Well,
were
only
trying
the
to stream to Pornhub, it would be a whole different RTMP server.
Says chat enable. Well, the Streamlabs thing looks like I'm live on YouTube.
Now that's a Streamlabs OBS app, right?
Yes.
Not StreamYard, because we always get those two things confused. They sound the same.
Right, and I'm using regular OBS right now, and he's using OBS Streamlabs. They're two different versions.
Yes.
Well,
Does it matter?
It's a different company.
Does that matter, Mitch?
What?
If you use OBS or OBS Streamlabs?
No, it really shouldn't. OBS is not the same as Streamlabs OBS. Streamlabs OBS is another fork from the OBS open source stuff.
Right.
Right. And when I was testing OBS a year and a half ago, it was unreliable and unstable, and it would do all kinds of weird things. And when I switched over to Streamlabs version, after they did their little tweaks to it, it seemed to make it a lot more stable. So it seemed to work better. So now it says that I'm screen recording live, and so I should be live on YouTube.
Let's see. Subscriptions. We got the AAP Grow Network, this stream, Bill the Drone Reviewer, Pusa Studios, Bobby McNutt, Days Gone, and that's the end of my live stream list.
Yeah, I've got some, but I mean, even on my own channel, I'm not seeing that I'm live. And Streamlabs says it's been broadcasting for 1:36 now.
Holy cow.
The guys are saying you're not live in the chat too.
Yeah.
What? Now I know you've done this before. Did your key change? Sometimes YouTube changes the key. I don't know why or how.
That would be the only hitch in the get along, is if for some reason my key got swapped.
And by key, we're talking about the YouTube stream key.
Yeah.
The one that you have to hit reveal to see it.
But I made a video on this and demonstrated it and went live and all that, and everything worked. So I can go get that and link it, put a link in your chat, Jim, for it. Yeah. I know that it works. Why it didn't work just now, I don't know, because I didn't test it. Maybe I should have. That way I'd have known that the stream key maybe was bad or something. But right here, where's your live stream? Where's your chat? Jim, live stream. YouTube live chat. Mute the audio.
That's a good point, Kenny.
Control V and enter. Oh, I'm not a moderator on your channel, Jim. I can't.
What are you talking about? On which channel?
On your YouTube. I'm not a blue. I don't have blue on, so I can't post links. Hello, Bob.
Let me see. Type something, will you?
Hey guys, this is a crazy, probably stupid question, but how do you type something on the chat? I'm all new to this, so I don't see anything on the screen.
No, you have to go to your browser, open up the live stream like you normally would in YouTube if you were watching it.
Yeah, I'm on StreamYard.
Yeah,
Okay, if you're
the audio.
Did you open StreamYards with your browser?
Yes.
Okay, on the right-hand side, if you make it like full screen, on the right-hand side, you'll see two menus at the top. It'll say private chat or live comments. You can see the live comments there where everybody's typing in the chat.
Wow.
But in order for you to type in the chat, you have to go and watch the YouTube stream, mute the audio, and then you'll be able to see the chat and you'll be able to participate in the chat.
I see.
The chat will automatically shrink to the bottom of your screen, so then you can bring it up when you go.
Well, I see the live comments. I just can't like comment, like write something down.
You almost need a dual monitor setup to do that. If you're
you got
one window open.
No.
I'm only using one monitor. I just shrink the comments and then I bring them up live into the StreamYard.
Yeah, you can do that.
And you can pop out the chat and have a small chat window beside your StreamYard browser too.
That's exactly what I'm doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Mel, you should be able to put that link in.
I do. I'm like Mitch, though. I've got 3 monitors, so I put things on all.
We're not going there. Mine ain't better than yours. That nonsense.
Control V. No, I think he's got 4 monitors.
No, I only have 3, and I only have 2 on this computer. So.
Oh, okay. There's the link to the video on how to stream from
a Wi-Fi camera.
A Wi-Fi camera.
Now, Art, did you give up on that, or are you still trying?
Yeah, I'll try it another time.
But you can get that. You can get that video, Art, and if you go through the steps.
Yeah.
And see, you're using something other than Streamlabs.
Yeah.
So I can't tell you how to do it because I'm not familiar with that.
Yeah, I have Streamlabs, but won't let me go into find other devices.
Well, on your phone.
Yeah.
Where am I getting my audio from? Let me close this. Close this.
On your
that's muted. On your phone.
Wi-Fi, you can't find Art. When you do Wi-Fi, you can't find the camera.
Oh, it'll find that. It's just that in Streamlabs, it won't connect to the camera.
It doesn't connect to the camera, Art.
Oh, okay.
Once you have Streamlabs open and broadcasting on your YouTube channel, so you have to put your stream key and everything in StreamYard. You have to set it up. Okay. Then, if your Wi-Fi camera is connected to your phone, then you open up the app for that camera because you're not connecting to the camera. You're screenshotting, broadcasting a screenshot.
Right.
So you have to bring up the app for that camera onto the screen. Right. Whatever's on the screen is what gets sent to YouTube.
Oh, okay.
You see what I mean?
I think I'm seeing.
Yeah. So it like it's like doing a screen capture.
Right.
Okay. And then you open the app so that it's on the screen. So what you're doing is doing a screen capture of the app. The app is displaying your camera view.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So you're just putting out that camera view.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's like it's almost like don't overthink it.
Yeah, maybe that's what I'm. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I have an app for my camera, so I should just use that app.
Open StreamYard, start broadcasting. leave that running,
Okay.
or your platform, whatever it is.
Right.
Leave that running in the background. Open up your app for your camera, so that your camera view is on your screen, and then that's what ought to be working.
Okay.
Now,
right.
with Apple, you can screen capture,
Right.
and you need to be able to screen capture with that broadcasting app that you're using. Are you using an Apple phone or an Android phone?
Android.
Yeah. Okay. See, so I don't know for sure how to do all that.
Okay.
Oh, my phone's an Android. Both of them. Both of my phones are Androids. Okay. But for my drones, my tablets were Apple. Now I don't even hardly use them anymore. My iPad Mini 4, it's sitting back here on a shelf buried because I don't use it anymore.
Right.
Oh, you can send that to me. I've got a nice crack in my screen. Well, you can't see it, but
Okay.
Now,
So
it doesn't have internet service on it. It's just.
here's my app. It's working on my phone. So, darn, I think I forgot to turn on the other app first. Okay, so we'll do back out of this.
Well, what other topics did you have on your list for tonight, Jim? Because you said you didn't want to go over an hour, and it's already 40 minutes past the hour.
Well, I wanted to get Adrian to talk about those master screw props with the noise reduction, and I wanted to ask him if they give you a longer flight time.
What's going on, Rick Albert? When it comes to the master Airscrew blades, Jim, that I've actually used so far for the DJI Spark, I'm sure that you are already seen the video. They actually help when it comes to the noise reduction, like the pitch. But
yes, I did. I
got a set
battery,
for my
when it comes
my
to the
Mavic
battery,
Pro
I
and
haven't
Zoom.
actually done like a battery test yet, like fully charged to use it a little bit. So because the battery was pretty much almost like dead, so I didn't get to see how long would the battery will actually last. You know what I mean? Using those blades.
All right, that's fine. But it did make a definite noise reduction, especially in the high pitched area.
On what drone? What drone?
Most definitely.
That was the Spark.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I got them on my both on my Zoom and my Pro.
I noticed that they came out for the one for the 2 Zoom on the Pro. I haven't got him yet, so
he's got them right there.
Yeah, the orange ones are pretty good.
I can't hear him.
You can actually see them.
I hear Al Diaz.
You can't hear Al?
No, I can hear you, Art, Mitch. I don't even hear Mel either.
Do you need your wired things in? I don't know why, but that always happens to you.
Happens on StreamYard to certain people. Mike Roche always had that problem, and if you go out and come back in, sometimes that fixes it.
What's going on, Chris Hope? So, Jim, let me go and jump out and come right back in.
Okay, buddy. All right.
Hey, Chris Hope's here. How you doing, Chris?
Hey, Chris.
Hey, Chris, how you doing?
Chris, Brent Nunley,
Bob
Bob.
Casey.
Bob
How you
Casey,
doing, Bob?
Peter Carroll,
Big Bob.
Ron Lockwood.
And we want to talk about something. Bob and I were talking on the phone about the battery problems with the correlation to everybody saw Dad Random's video where he was flying the Mavic Mini and it said it had 51% battery left.
Yeah.
He turned around and started coming home and the thing auto landed. Well, I was talking to Bob,
But it
and
had
uncontrollable, Mitch.
it had lots of battery when it auto landed.
Yeah, the sticks. Well, actually, when he made the 2-mile trek to it, the battery was just barely alive.
It was still on. Yeah, the drone was still on. Okay,
But as far as juice, it didn't have the juice. Now, he's not the only one. Bob Casey has had a problem with a different drone.
Bob Casey had a battery problem. The problem you're describing is not a battery problem. It's power overload, motor power overload or something. And it gives you a warning on your app screen.
Yeah, Dan was saying that.
And what that is the Mavic Mini is so light. Okay, it's under 250 grams, right? It doesn't take much wind to make that drone have to work hard to hold its place. It doesn't take much wind to make that drone overwork itself trying to fly into the wind. When you're getting that max power overload, it is caused by maximum pitch, maximum throttle trying to fly into the wind. You're getting a max power overload, and the motors are overloading because it can't keep up.
Think they could fix that with a firmware update?
Nope. It's not a firmware issue. It's a mechanical issue because the drone doesn't weigh that much. That drone was never intended to be flown in heavy wind. It was never intended to be flown 3,000 meters away. It was never intended to be flown in any of the ways that most of the guys are flying it. But I guarantee you that that is what's causing the max overload.
I just want to know why the telemetry works in its landing, but why I had no controls with the sticks. I saw.
Here's why.
And what drone was that?
Nothing. It's doing exactly what it's supposed to do. When it gets overloaded.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Jim,
if I'm flying a Mavic
don't
2
do
Pro
that to me,
and it's
please.
landing,
Wait.
I
You're
can
talking
put my
about
sticks up and it will go up.
You're talking about a different drone. This is a 249 almost toy drone. When it gets overloaded, being forced to do more than what it's capable of doing safely, it lands. It's programmed to do that. That's why it goes into auto landing. That's why you can't throttle a stick up and make it climb. It will not.
10%, they're all going to do that.
But this will do it with 80% battery.
Yeah, but he showed 51%. But the thing was,
when it gets overloaded, it's programmed to do that.
Ash from Droning On mentioned something about that. No, Cardoso posted or put something down. I seen the video, but a lot of the guys were losing their drones because it was half charged. It wasn't fully charged.
Right.
So, but I'm assuming if you hit that point and it's 50%, even in a fully charged battery, you're going to still go through the same thing.
It's still going to do the same thing.
And it did. I watched Dad Random's video on it, and like I said, he showed the screen. It said 51%.
Yep.
When he turned around and came back, it just boom.
Yep.
Now,
and I watched.
Film me. What drone are we talking about?
The Mavic Mini.
Mavic Mini.
The Mavic Mini, okay.
And on Dad Random's video, he had one other error that I'm not sure if he realized, and I only realized it after about the third time I watched his video. He had his return to home altitude set at, I don't know, 300 feet or something, right? The problem was when he flew out to that ridge was at 400 feet. So for him, or 350 feet, whatever, but for him to be above the ridge, he had to be above 400 feet from where he took off, but the ridge was 400 feet tall. His return to home height altitude was set at 100 feet. Well, out there, the elevation was 450 feet. So his drone actually descended to the 100-foot return to home height because his return to home height was set where he was. The problem was the real elevation was 400 feet. The drone was trying to come down to what it thought was 100 feet. So it landed on the ground before it got to 100 feet because the ground over there where the drone was 400 feet high. Am I explaining that right, Mitch? Know, I know you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, we all saw it. We all know what you're talking about. His height was higher than the height it was supposed to be. Should have been in actuality.
No, he was lower because when he flew out there, the ridge was way above him. The top of the ridge was like 400 feet above where he was. So it pulled the drone, in other words, because of the actual ground elevation. And I think that's why his drone landed.
Adrian said, I want to say hi to everyone. Chris said, get started.
Big crowd here tonight, man. Big crowd.
Yeah, big crowd.
But the Mavic Mini is designed. It's either designed or it's a flaw in the firmware or software that when it gets mechanically overloaded, it lands. And I think it's like a failsafe.
Bob, do you have AirData? You can get a free account at AirData, and you can have up to 6 batteries on that account. And it will show you each battery, each cell, and its deviations from normal, and what it would call an errors per minute. It shows you the battery temperatures and all that. So if you had a bad cell in that battery right now, it would tell you about it.
It would tell you.
All right.
Are you talking about the Mavic Mini batteries?
No, he's talking about Mavic
Air.
Mavic Air,
okay.
Mavic Pro.
The Mavic Mini, if I'm not mistaken, I don't have one, uses lithium-ion cells, not lithium polymer.
I think that's correct.
And lithium-ion batteries are a whole different animal from LiPos, because in the way that you charge them, in their discharge rate, in their capacity, and everything else. And they're much
power delivery.
Yeah, they're much lighter, but the lithium ions don't have the ability to put out the monstrous amount of amps that a lithium polymer does. So if you wanted to try a racing quad with lithium ions, it probably wouldn't have enough C rating, you know.
Right.
Yeah, so that's why they don't use it. But for a little drone like the Mini, they work fine.
Man, this
but
is crazy.
They're not smart batteries, right? So they won't discharge like after a certain amount of days, because obviously that feature's not on there.
You don't have a storage. You generally don't even worry about a storage charge on those things.
Right.
Yeah, because I usually panic when I leave my batteries fully charged. So actually, I'm discharging them now.
Anything you know,
power battery.
As long as you're not storing them in a real hot place for more than a week,
should be okay.
Yeah. Mine, I don't discharge mine. I charge them. I charge them up about every 4 or 5 days, keep them, topped off, so that if I want to go fly, I can. And then if I don't fly in 5 or 6 days, they start discharging themselves. But that's not the LiPo battery doing that. That's the circuit board that DJI put in the battery.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Doing that.
Yeah.
That's what makes it a smart battery, is having a circuit board, a circuit added to it. It's got a little computer in the battery that controls it and tells it what to do after so many days. And that computer is adjustable. You can set it for, I think, up to 10 days, Mitch?
Yeah.
Am I right? 10 days?
10 days.
I don't think there's a feature on the Mini like that, unless I haven't ran across it.
The Mini doesn't have that, I don't think.
No, with lithium-ion batteries, you don't need to worry about that anyway. You can fully charge up a lithium-ion, leave it sit for years.
Yep. In fact,
they use them in flashlights. You've seen those big round 18650s. They look like big AA batteries, about twice the size. Those are the lithium-ion cells.
Wait, people are coming and going and leaving, and Jim's not
even here anymore.
Where's the host? Where's the host? Where's the host?
Where's the host? Yeah. The host is.
I wanted to let Dennis come on, but he popped out or dropped.
Well, he came. I think he was trying to get a word in edgewise and kind of gave up.
This is the wrong crowd for that.
Yep.
Any crowd is the wrong crowd for trying to get a word in edgewise.
Now, Chris says the Mini does not need it because the batteries go so fast. How long do they last, guys?
30 minutes. And they'll stay charged for months.
Oh.
But they don't have the issues that lithium polymer batteries.
But you couldn't use them in a Mavic Pro, a Mavic 2 would need more current than a lithium ion would easily deliver. Lithium ion batteries are usually used for lower current draw devices, things like flashlights, and, electronics, radios, things that don't need to have 100 amps available, like some of these drones. And that might be what's causing the problems with the Mini when it starts working too hard. It's very possible that lithium ion just can't deliver the amount of amps that the little drone's needing.
And the motors can't deliver the power either. I mean, so it makes sense that it's got a failsafe that when it gets overloaded, it lands.
but you would think that in the firmware that DJI has for the Mini, they would have limits set so it couldn't overwork itself. In other words, even
but then the problem is it would fly away with the wind a whole
well,
lot.
of course it would, but shame on you for flying in a whole lot more wind,
Yeah, well, there you go too. And the problem is the drone doesn't know what it's over. If it's over water, all it knows is it's going to land. And if it's over water, it's going swimming. That's all there is to it.
Where is Chris? He has that. Come on here, Chris.
Jim, let me jump out. I did what you wanted me to do, and I'm enjoying the conversation. But let me get out of here so some of these other guys can get in. All right.
Well, Kenny or Chris, come on.
Hey, Jim.
Yeah, let me know when you want me off. I'll get off too. There's no problem. I don't mind.
I gotta get ready for bed. So thanks for having me on, Jim.
All right, Art. Did that work for you?
I've still got stuff to figure out. There's something going on. Either I'm doing something wrong, or I don't know.
I think it's basically as long as you've got your OBS or whatever you're using, whatever app you're using, set up with the right key. Once your Wi-Fi connected to your Osmo or action camera, you don't need to do anything else. Just start the YouTube stream.
Okay. I'll figure out.
I think we're overthinking it.
Yeah, I bet that's probably what it is.
I know I would. Yeah, I'd be looking to connect to the camera, and you don't need to.
Right. Yep. Okay. Thanks for having me on, and you guys all have a good evening.
Take care.
I appreciate you coming. Guess who we got here from the hospital?
Oh, hey.
Hey, guys.
All right, Rodney.
Hey, Rodney. How you doing,
buddy?
I'm doing good, guys. Doing great. At least until Thursday.
You don't look any different.
Oh, thanks.
Are you available?
Put my unmade up face on the tube so everybody can see how ugly I really am. Thanks, Jim. How's it going, guys?
Hey, Rodney, how's it going?
Great.
Pretty good, Adrian.
Good to see you, man. You kind of scared me a little bit.
I appreciate that, man. Hey, Jim, you can make me small again.
You don't want to be the big man on campus?
No, I mean, I look so bad. I don't even want to see myself.
You're the beard leader among this community. Since Rick got his chopped off.
Hello, Dennis. No gowns. Dennis. So I just want to let everybody know that I will be having bypass surgery on Thursday morning, and it's going to be a multiple bypass. The doctor said 3 to 4 bypasses. So
Really?
Yeah. Where'd Mel go?
He made room for you.
Oh, did he? No, he didn't have to leave. I could have waited. So
it's all right. We were just trying to get the Osmo Action connection there, or actually any camera that has Wi-Fi.
Right. Yeah, I caught part of that.
I think I would overthink it. I'd be looking to connect the camera, and you don't have to. Apparently, as long as you're connected to OBS or whatever app you're using
on your phone,
your device, and your phone is getting the Wi-Fi picture from the camera, you're done.
Right.
Just basically streaming, mirroring your phone screen. So whatever app you're running on your phone, which would happen to be the camera app that displays the picture from the camera, whatever's on the screen of your streaming device is going to go out. That's the way Mel has it set up.
Look at Chris.
Now, Art has 1,000 subs, so he doesn't need to even worry about it. He can just stream from his YouTube app on his cell phone.
Yeah.
Now, do you still need the 4,000 hours or what?
Not for streaming. No. For streaming, live streaming, all you need is 1,000 subs.
Okay.
1,000 subs, and then you got to wait 3 or 4 weeks before they actually turn. It took me about 4 weeks from the time I got my 1,000 subs to when my phone live stream app would let me live stream and didn't give me that message that I didn't qualify.
Now, is there any notification from YouTube in your email or anything?
When you get 1,000 subs, yeah, they congratulate you, but that's about it.
I don't even know if I got that email.
I'm sure you got it.
You have, you've got almost 1.4K. It's been a while, I guess.
I don't really check it. And, you know, I don't live stream that much because what's to see at here with the sunrises? I can't get a good sunrise.
Not lately.
Chris Hope says anything for you, Rodney.
Yeah, I saw that. He said he was going to have the eggs and bacon ready for when I got out.
That's cold-blooded.
What's for dinner, Adrian?
No. See, eggs and bacon I'll be able to have.
That's the best thing for you to eat. I've always said that.
Okay, well, maybe not real bacon, but turkey bacon is supposedly good for me.
Eat real bacon and eggs.
Now, you see, Mitch, look what Mel said. I keep getting messed up in my head with this. He says you need the 1,000 subs and the 4,000 watch hours to stream direct to YouTube.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't need that.
Wow.
No, you don't need that?
No.
Not the 4,000 watch hours.
I think you need the 4,000 watch hours to get monetized.
Monetized.
To get monetized, exactly, yeah.
But I think that you only need the 1,000 subs. Now, you know, I could be wrong. I was wrong once before, you know.
Once.
Yeah, well, that was the time I thought I was wrong, but I wasn't.
Yeah, well, I understood it to be to stream from your mobile device, you had to have 1,000 subs, and to get monetized, you had to have 1,000 subs plus 4,000 watch hours.
I believe you're correct.
But like you said, Mitch, I may be wrong as well. So
no, I think you're correct. And Jim, you don't have 4,000 watch hours, right?
Oh, heck no.
Okay. Can you stream from your YouTube app on your phone?
Yeah, but I do it RTMP. I haven't tried.
But I mean, can you just go into the YouTube app and punch the live stream button and have at it?
I have not tried, sir.
Try that. You'll see that it'll probably work.
I'm curious to know how long it takes
on a mobile device.
Yeah. If I go on my mobile device, let me see. I don't know if you can see this. And I go into YouTube here, and up top I say create a broadcast. Okay, down at the bottom it says video, live, or make a post. If I hit the live,
all I'm seeing is your head.
Then
Mitch.
it asked me to name the thing, and I type a name and I say go live, and I go live. Now, before I got the 1,000 subs, when I hit that button that said go live, I got an error window that came up and said, what do you think you're doing? You don't qualify, basically. So now I have the 4,000 hours, so I can't be the proof that you don't need 4,000 hours. But if you try it on your phone, you can't do it now because you're already live streaming.
Yeah.
But
Mitch, you have the 4,000 watch hours?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
He does.
How long that would take?
He does two live streams. When are your shows, Mitch?
Well, I just started the second. I do Thursday night at 6 Eastern time for a couple hours. And then now on Sunday night at 8 p.m., I call FPV workshop, where we dive into the technical aspects of the FPV drones, and building them, programming software, and all that other stuff.
Welcome, Big Bob Casey.
Wow.
Hey, guys.
Oh, my God. He showed up.
Now, Bob, what happened with your Mavic Air? Was that 47%?
47%. And it just said critically low battery and just started going down.
All right.
Is that Bob Casey?
Yeah, that's Bob Casey.
And Adrian, hello.
We got a beard fight.
I'm not the king of the beard after all.
We got a beard fight.
It's close. I think Bob's got you there, though.
Yeah, I think so.
I've been trying to get Bob on my stream for forever. How'd you pull this off, Jim?
Because
Yeah,
I'm a nice guy.
Because they love us.
I'm a hell of a guy, Mitch. Just ask
Okay,
me.
well, that explains it.
So, Bob, have you flown that drone after that incident?
Oh yeah, I went ahead and ran 2 more batteries after that.
No, that same battery though. Have you recharged that battery and flown it?
No, nope.
I would be interested in seeing how it acts a second time. And definitely, Bob, definitely get that. It's called AirData.
Right.
It gives you a free account for up to 6 batteries. That's what you limit to. After that, you have to go to the pro version. But it'll show you so much battery data. It'll tell you when it's time for your battery maintenance, when you fly it and take it down to 5% and recharge. It keeps account of how many flights you've done, and I could show mine.
Where does it get its data from? From DJI's app? Or?
It has an app that you put on your phone or device, whatever you're using, and you can have auto sync, and it'll automatically update your flight data to its server.
From the DJI data?
I'm sure it's an SDK, Mitch. I'm sure it's an SDK.
Okay, yeah. All that information's got to come from somewhere. Yeah.
Can you get that information via using a smart controller on your smart? Because that's what I have, a smart controller.
The smart controller won't show you the battery cell errors and all that. It'll just say, like the normal app, it just shows you the battery levels. And
I mean the AirData app.
Yeah.
Would I be able to use the smart controller and fly and get that information there?
Oh yeah.
Well, wouldn't you have to side load that app onto the smart controller?
I'm gonna log in here just to show you what info it does give out. Now let's what do I have to do? I have to come back here and share it, right?
Share your screen. Yeah.
Share screen. Okay. Mitch, tell me when you can see it. Oh,
yeah, there it is.
Okay. Yeah. Now, that's what do we want to do? We want to go to batteries. And these DJI batteries were swelling, so it doesn't make any difference. But let's just take a normal battery. See, you can go into, it keeps track of how many charges, how many flights, and the airtime. But more importantly, it'll show you the battery data trends. I want to find a battery that's actually that we can get something off of. Now, these batteries are brand new. DJI sent them.
Don't do that with 2 hands.
As replacements. Oh, battery history. It's brand new, so that's not going to work. There, let's take something like this. There. Under efficiency. Usage, flight history, trends of your battery. You can see I fly the P4 a lot. Yeah. But what did I want to show? We just wanted to show that efficiency. Oh, come on. It tells you when you need to do your service on your batteries too. Like at every 20 charges, it'll tell you to bring it down. It tells you how much airtime you have on a battery. Here, this is something. All right, you can see the battery here over time, and then let's go to efficiency. And it shows you the battery's efficiency over time. It'll also show you deviations from cell to cell. So you've got minor deviations. It's got a grid at the bottom here, see?
Yep.
When anything is...
That's almost too much information there, Jim.
You know what? It'll drive you crazy because you start looking for it.
Well, it's a good way to find a dead cell and see what the battery is doing.
Yeah, they have a gauge. That's what I'm trying to get. They have a simple gauge. to show you. Now you can rename, you can edit this, you can call your battery anything you want, and it'll tell you when you bought it and when it was last used, the battery serial numbers. And it doesn't do it on all of them. See, now when you have something that takes 2 batteries, like the Inspire 2 or, well, any of the other ones that take 2 batteries, you can group the batteries together. See, battery set, and you can pair a set of batteries. And then you can go through flight history of the battery, because we're just looking at batteries now. But if you go to just your drone, right? If you go to, let's go to flights. Let's just say flights. It'll tell you when, and if you pick up one flight, it'll show you all the notifications that happened during that flight. Mitch, this is by you. This is by your house.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
It gives you the map, and you can, of course, move the map around. You can make the map larger, and you can replay your entire flight. By here with this HD flight player,
Yeah.
you can replay your entire flight. It tells you what modes it changed to. Now, if I hit start, the drone's flying.
It's
Now,
amazing. It's amazing the amount of data that they capture.
It's scary.
Data that they capture on each flight.
It even shows you your stick movements.
Well, you can do that right in the Go4 app. You can replay your entire flight, and it'll show you your stick movements and the drone position on the map and the altitude and speed and everything right inside the Go4 app.
Yeah. What you see here now, you're seeing your cell deviations.
Well, that you don't see in the Go4 app. You don't see the battery reacting like that.
Now, Mitch, I had one of these that actually disconnected 5,000 feet away from me.
God, no.
Hey,
and
guys.
you see, this is in the middle of nowhere, right, guys?
Yeah.
Hey guys, I've got to run.
Rodney.
Well, maybe not run, more like crawl, but
It's good. It was good to see you, and we expect you to be on live Thursday night after this thing.
well, how about I do this for you? How about I just live stream the bypass surgery?
I bet you would have.
Out like that without your arm getting tired.
Wouldn't that? Yeah, that would be hard, Mitch. You're right.
I'll tell you who would do that. Dan, drone worship. He would do that if they let him.
Yep.
Yeah, and I'm not sure that I would have that kind of courage.
Well, this type of surgery, I'm sure they've told you, is become so routine these days that the doctors will be carving with one hand and eating their lunch with the other. So.
Oh yeah. Well, the funny thing about it is the doctor came in today, and he goes, "Well, we have calculated that you have a 1% chance of any side effects."
No kidding. That's terrific.
That's good.
That's incredible.
And that just amazed me. They can figure that out, But you know what? It's all in God's hands right now. So,
amen, brother. Amen.
You're gonna be fine.
Lots of credit for you.
I'm a little nervous about it, a little scared, but I know He's going to guide them. So, I'm good to go.
You are good to
I
go.
don't blame you for being nervous, man. I got a dermatologist appointment tomorrow morning just for a routine checkup, and I'm nervous. So, I can understand.
So what exactly are you having done, Rodney? What kind of procedure? Just a single bypass, quadruple? What are you having done?
No, the doctor told me 3 to 4 bypasses.
3 to 4.
Now,
Yeah.
Are they going to do the artery from your chest, or are they going to do the saphenous vein from your leg?
I think they're going to use the leg,
Okay.
but they because they did a sonogram of my legs today, and they did checked my neck. the Jim, help me out here. Carotid
artery.
Carotid arteries. They checked that out with a sonogram, and and then of course the legs. They were just checking to see what kind of veins I had that they might be able to use. So it looks like I'm good to go.
What's going to be the painful part of it, Rodney, is the breastplate.
Yeah,
they'll give you a pillow, and funny enough, it's shaped like a heart, and you hold the pillow when you cough.
Yeah, I had to watch 2 videos today, and it showed exactly that. The first video was preparing for the surgery, and then the second video was the road to recovery, and I saw these people hugging that red pillow, and I'm like, not me.
You'll want that pillow.
Oh, I'm sure I will. Once they explained what it was,
band.
I understood. So
you'll want that support band. It'll go behind you, and you pull it to you.
You've been down this road too, Bob?
No, but I've had a couple of people in my family that's had it.
Well, I know Rick Halber has. He's been down this road.
Yeah. In fact, Rick and I was talking earlier today. Come in. Hi. Hey guys, I gotta go. The nurse is here, so
see you later, Rodney.
Y'all take care. I'm trying to get you updates. Drone Bum and Dennis Lovelady, I will give their numbers to my wife, and they will try and keep you guys updated.
Thanks a lot,
boss.
Good luck, my prayers, Rodney.
All right, y'all take care. Bye-bye.
All right, so that's good news for Rodney.
Now, Bob Case, I got a couple of questions for you. When it comes to your DJI Mavic Air, I've actually had a flight that I put up. It's been a few months ago where, like an idiot, I actually flew it too far and drained the battery too much to where I had to literally land it about 1.5 miles from my house. Now, I literally drained the battery to 0, and I was able to land it just fine. I'm wondering, why is it that you had that issue and you said your battery was about 41%?
47.
I don't understand that.
It just got to 47%. I'm looking at the telemetry. I'm up there watching it, and all I was doing was practicing the orbit. I wanted to tune it in a little bit, and the next thing I know, it said battery critically low from 47%. It went to 0, 47%
just
to
like
0, and it started auto landing, started coming down, and when it did, it landed right in front of my granddaughter in the golf cart, a foot away from the tires.
What was your
foot
altitude,
away.
Bob? What was your altitude, Bob?
150 feet.
And how old was that battery?
It's a year old.
How many flights did you have on it?
About 25. 20,
Just
25.
it just sounds like the battery failed. Either
That's what I'm saying.
A dirty,
I had,
dirty connection on the where the battery plugs in, or something like that.
That's
It's kind
why
of scary because didn't Philly Drone Life just had a
flyaway.
crash? Yeah, flyaway. Yeah. So I wonder if he was going through a similar
His flyaway was because he didn't have
Wi-Fi.
he lost his connection, Wi-Fi too far away, and kept trying to reconnect, and then the stupid thing reestablished a new home point way out there, which was really strange. Nobody can explain why it did that. Theoretically, if it lost connection, it should come home.
With a new home point, it's never coming back.
Yeah, if you're in the middle of flying your drone and all of a sudden she announces to you that the home point has been established, that means that wherever that drone happens to be at that time, it's going to consider the new home point. Now, you can do that on the controller. You can tell it to make that a new home, but for that to happen by itself, it's very strange. I don't understand it. Unless Mike hit the wrong thing. Try it while he was trying to reconnect.
Wasn't he trying to cancel it? So maybe he reset it when he was hitting that button multiple times.
He might have done it. Hit the wrong button. No matter how, I don't care how good a pilot you are, how much experience you've had, when you have a problem like that, you do get tunnel vision. You know.
Oh, what button do you hit to make it get a new home point?
There is a setting somewhere buried deep in the menus on the Go 4 app. Now, I don't know about the Mavic Mini app.
That's what I'm saying. He would have to go way into that because there's a follow me setting and the standstill setting. What I mean by follow me is if you're in a boat, you can press that and it will follow you in the boat as the home point will follow you.
Yeah.
So how
I'm just assuming because I know he was pressing that button.
App?
I heard it.
God knows how that happened, but
now I know with all that electromechanical interference he's got around him. Oh my God!
There's 100 million Wi-Fi routers between him and where that drone was,
and all those power lines. Holy Christ!
Unbelievable! Yeah.
That's why, Bob, I would love to see you download that AirData and put that battery on it.
Oh no, Ari.
To see if there's any.
Got it up now.
Yeah, see if there's any cell problems in that battery, because just like Dad Random, irregardless of the fact that he was so far away and the height differences, he still had 51% battery showing on his on-screen display. That's a problem.
Yes.
And when he did get to the actual drone, it wouldn't even start up. The blades wouldn't spin. But it was still, the battery was still on. You all saw it. He was able to use the Find Me.
Yeah.
On the app.
Now that was a Mini.
That was a Mini.
So that was a lithium. That's a lithium-ion battery.
But 51% to had to be under 10%. At 10%, I don't know about your drones, but at 10%, usually 11, that thing's landing. No matter where the heck it is.
And push up on the stick and keep but it's trying to come down.
Right. He couldn't do that. He was pushing up on the stick and he had nothing, no response.
But Mike said he had no control over his. And yet at one point when he was out there about 3,000 feet.
Yes.
The thing.
And 400 feet high.
Yeah, 600 feet high.
600 feet high.
And all of a sudden it started to go 3,000 and then went 3,100, 3,200, went out to about 3,400 feet. And then all of a sudden it started to get low, it started to come back towards it and got back to as close as 2,900 feet.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I didn't see that stream, but I had somebody report to me that he was experiencing, it was requesting calibration on takeoff, and Mikey missed that.
Well, that was a compass calibration, and
would you want to do a compass calibration with all those wires and all?
I don't know if a compass calibration would have caused or could have caused the kind of problems that he was having.
The shifts in home point, the random changes in home point could have come down to compass.
That was very strange. That was.
You really think that could have come down to compass?
Well, I can't see anything else. And look, Jim, the unplanned landing issue, enough of those reports have happened that I am convinced that there's an issue. That's why I've put my Mini on hold. But I think it'll be fixed with firmware. It's like every new drone. When they come out, there's always a slew of problems. People report that they lose it, and there's plenty of operator error to go around. But in the case of the Mini, there's something not adding up.
Well, that's a couple of people. There's a couple of. We have verification from what, 3-4 people already? What videos?
I've read about 15, and
really,
of which about 4 or 5 have been over water. And as a matter of fact, what's his name? The fellow in the UK. He's just come back from a long break. I'm trying to think of the name of the guy. He's fairly controversial.
Well, that's anyway, Ash from Drilling On.
That's right. He did a video last night, and he's got some fairly good contacts within DJI. He's somebody who actually does. And his statement is that it's acknowledged that there's an issue going on.
Metro Drones, thanks for coming by. Rick, he was flying a Mavic Air, right, Bob?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Mavic Air.
Bob had the Mavic Air up, and I'd love to see you recharge that. You don't have to fly it, but it'll. You download AirData, and then on your phone, sorry for the noise, on your phone there's an auto sync app that you can either push yourself or it automatically do it. You could set it to 20 flights, upload data of all flights or only the data in the last month. So you have control over how many flights are going up to AirData. I don't remember if they have a limit on how many flights you could put. Is it 3,000? Might be 3,000 flights, but I know it's 6 batteries. That was my problem. I had over 6 batteries, so I had to go with the Pro account. It's good data to have. And
I'm going to log into it.
Especially if you're buying a new battery and you start having problems. And you see these errors in there. I mean, I would get to DJI right away. You're basically spending at least 150 on a battery.
I tell you, it's a good practice though if you label your drones. I mean your batteries.
Yes.
All mine are labeled and numbered.
Labeled and dated.
When you got a problem with one, you can go right to that one. You know which one it is. I was talking to Mel, and Mel said that maybe go ahead and take your propellers off and let it run, and see what happens. Watch the telemetry, see what happens. See if the battery does blank out again, because it went from 47 to nothing. I mean, that's what blew my mind. But see, I had trouble with it once before. It dropped on me, and I noticed the drop in the percentage on the battery. Still had the flight time I thought would change, but it didn't. It just dropped the percentage on the battery. So I went ahead and brought it down just in case. But this time it just went kaput.
That can be indicative of one cell at low, unbalanced, mismanaged cells. If you have one cell that's a little bit low, the battery says it's flat when the very first cell drops below that voltage.
It's 3.75, I think.
That's correct. And it doesn't matter if the other two are well above it, and that can give the appearance of dropping from X percentage to 0 almost instantly. And the answer for that, not that I recommend it because it can damage your battery, but you've got nothing to lose, is run the battery as flat as you can and land it, and let it cool, and then take off again and hover until it forces itself to land, and let it cool and bring it right down to 0%, and then recharge.
Don't forget, with these smart batteries, which there's also for you FPV guys, there's a new thing out called Batmon. It's battery monitor, Batmon. It'll take regular Titan FPV batteries if you group them, and it's a board, and it makes them smart batteries, Mitch. I think it just came out. I got an email on it. They were pushing it on Mass Drop as a new item.
Well, all of the FPV batteries have balance leads on them, and all of the any halfway decent battery charger is a balanced charger,
right?
So when you plug the power lead in, you plug the balance lead in, and it brings all the cells even. So when the battery's fully charged, all your cells are balanced, and that's all you really need to do. And then you just need to check them after the flight. Okay, you plug a little voltmeter into the balance lead, and it alternates, tells you what cell 1, cell 2, cell 3, and you just look out for one cell that's wildly below any of the other 3, and that tells you your battery's starting to go. You got a bad cell in your battery.
AirData will tell you if there's a 0.01 deviation between cells.
Well, that I can see on my charger. All I got to do is put the battery on the charger, and it gives me a graph right on has a display, a touch screen, and it gives me a graph and shows me 4 or 6, however many cells there are, and tells me to the 100th of a volt what each cell is. And you can see if you got a problem. It also has a storage charge setting. So if you're not going to use the batteries for a while, you put them into the storage, and what it does is it shoots for 3.8 volts, which is the optimum storage voltage for a lithium polymer cell. And if the cell, each individual cell, it will bring it up to that or bring it
down to that.
When you're all done and it shuts off, all 4 cells or however many cells in the battery are going to be exactly 3.8 volts. So that's as smart as you really need to be for the FPV, because FPV batteries are much cheaper than Mavic batteries. Number one, they don't have much cheaper. $25 $20-25, and they're disposable pretty much. You beat the crap out of them, especially if you crash your drones. If you get 20, 30, 40 flights out of an FPV battery, you're really doing good.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Wow. I'm having issues with brand new 4S batteries for my my iFlight Mega B.
Yeah.
And every time I stick it to the charger and plug it up, I get a low voltage warning. And they're virtually new batteries.
That sounds like it might be a setting in your charger that's doing that to you.
Okay.
Do you have a way of reading? I do
have it reading the voltage.
Yeah, a little thing that plugs into the balance lead.
Yeah, and it shows the voltage, and it's actually one of the cells are low. I went on. Oh God, it's probably 0.1 or 1.0 difference.
That's not that big.
That's not significant. No. Yeah, but all the time I hook it up, I get issues like that all the time.
What kind of charger do you have?
It's this Turnigy.
Okay, he's got a decent charger.
Yeah, it's okay. It is a balance charger, right? You plug the balance lead into one place and the power and the main leads in the other. And there's a lot of settings on those chargers that you have to have set right on these batteries.
See you later, Chris.
At any rate, what brand batteries are they?
Oh God, I don't even know offhand.
Does that matter a lot, Mitch? Is there a better quality?
There's garbage batteries, and there's much better.
I got this one on Amazon, Avonix.
Yeah, they're good batteries. I use those.
Yeah,
shouldn't be a problem. If your charger's telling you that the voltage is low or something, that's a problem in the charger. Because
well, it is a pretty old charger. I've had it for a long time.
Well, that might be a problem right there. But you can
see you later, Rick.
There's a IDT. There's a number of really good chargers.
Take care, Rick.
In the $80 to $100 range. That it really pays to have a good charger, because a good charger will help you maintain your batteries, and you'll get more out of them if just like the intelligent batteries do. It keeps all the cells balanced and makes them last longer. And if you're not going to use them for a week or so, you want to bring them back, and you had charged them up, didn't get to go fly, you bring them back, you just throw them on there and say, take it to storage.
That will discharge them too?
It discharges them to the store. You can discharge them to nothing. You can discharge them to storage voltage.
No, mine balances them, discharges them. Ari, which one was that one you showed us? I couldn't see it.
That was the high-tech X4, which out here with our lousy dollar, that's about a $450 purchase. I've had it a few years. There are slightly better ones on the market now, but that's still
Well, let's get a good look at that. Put that baby back up there. It's huge.
Yeah.
Hang on, I'll be right back.
Is that for 4 batteries, right?
4 channels, yeah.
And you can set limits?
Yes, everything from lead acid through to lithium polymer.
Can you charge them all at once?
Yeah, at a maximum of 50 watts per channel. So, you've got to balance it to a maximum of 200 watts regarding how many channels you have. But, as you guys, I don't do FPV, but I've done RC for 30 years. I'm an instructor, and I do notice that there is a higher attrition on normal RC balanced batteries, for sure. And it's not uncommon for me, especially if I haven't gone flying for a couple of months, open up the case and start going through the batteries, and that one's junk, that you'll pull them out. And you put them in storage mode, but they'll still bulge. And there doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason as to why some last longer than others. DJI batteries are a lot less volatile. Maybe that's down to the onboard management.
Well, Jim certainly had a problem with batteries puffing, didn't you, Jim?
Oh, and it happened like overnight, Mitch.
Yeah, it does.
I'm sitting there bragging that I didn't have a problem with my batteries the next day. Let me get you up there, Mitch. Hold on.
Okay, this charger here is I can't even tell you the name of it.
Take care, Rodney.
A T240 Duo. Anyway, it has a touch screen display that shows you all the graphs, and it it charges two batteries up to 2 batteries at a time, up to 6S. And this is where the balance leads. The balance leads plug in, and then the XT60s. And it's a terrific charger. It's about, I think, $85-$90 on Amazon. And it's like a newer technology. So it really takes a good care of the batteries, and I'm having some pretty good luck with it.
It's cool that you can charge more than one at a time.
Yeah, you
Mine
can
is just one at a time. Pain in the ass.
Thanks, Dean. Thanks for coming, Dean. Mickle Ghost is Dean.
Oh,
Okay. Take care, Dean. Have a good one.
all right, you can make me small again.
Okay, Montana drones left us.
There you go.
Okay.
Hey, Jim. Rick Harbor had to go. Montana drones. Rodney. Who else?
Looks like Rick Halber's going. He told me to
Rick
take.
Harbor.
Yeah, he said good night.
Yeah.
Okay. The interesting part of that is that it'll drain the batteries for you, where we have to sit there and either fly it without the props or just fly it with the props just above the ground until it self lands at usually 5. It'll start at 11-12%. It'll start to come down on you. You can still hold the stick up, but at a certain percentage, I think it's around 5. Even that's not going to work.
It's landed.
Yeah. No matter what.
This charger has 2 different modes. It has a discharge mode where you basically just tell it the final voltage you want. So if you're trying to totally destroy a battery because you want to throw it away,
right?
You say give me 2 volts per cell. If that thing gets down to 2 volts per cell, it's dead.
Total.
Yeah. Or what they call storage mode, which isn't really a discharge mode, because if the cell is below the storage level, it'll charge it up to that level. If it's above, it'll discharge it down. So it's smart enough to know what it needs to do to each cell to bring it to that 3.8 volts. And you can tell it what the storage level you want, 3.8, 3.85. But that's the voltage that they ship LiPo batteries to you is 3.8 volts. And
that's
at
what
3.8 volts, they consider it safe to ship. And they won't, at 3.8 volts, they're not going to puff up either, because you can get a brand new LiPo battery that Amazon sent you that might have been on the shelf in a hot warehouse for a year and a half, and it's not going to be puffed up. Now, if it had been sitting fully charged or even fully discharged, it would have puffed like crazy. And fully discharging a battery will puff it up a hell of a lot faster than a fully charged. That's what really makes them puff, is when they start to really get down low and you're still drawing a lot of current from them.
Let me just answer this question real quick. Tomas, DJI says between 50 and 65% is storage mode. Now, however, if you look in their forums, Ari, I found this interesting. They will tell you to actually, when you want to do your cycle on your batteries, you deep discharge, they'll tell you to bring that battery down to 0. I never have. 5%.
No. That's not a good idea with a LiPo.
That's crazy.
What I thought, Mitch, was because they have the smart card on them, that even at 0, if it's showing 0, does it still really have 5-10% in it?
Yes. I've seen tests run on these, Jim. And, I think that those of you who know me know that I'm a technician by trade. I've got a technical background. I've seen tests run on several drones, and depending on the model, for DJI stuff, between a minute and a minute and a half, still in the air at 0%. But
0, yeah.
I certainly wouldn't want to do it. It's just one of those things. As far as storage goes, yes, you're right. They recommend 50 to 65. My technical training says 40 to 60%. So, it's in the same ballpark. That's one of the things I appreciate with the charging dock for the Phantom 4 Professional, is that it has a storage function, and it'll discharge and charge to a good storage voltage.
Yeah, Bob, you know what? We'd be real interested. I know I would, to see what comes out with that battery.
I'll go ahead and try it tomorrow. I was going to go ahead and let it hover and see what happens after that.
Even though it's a drone. it's still a battery issue because like his was at 51% on the Mavic Mini. Yours was at 47% on the Mavic Air. They're both Wi-Fi drones. What does that have to do with it? I don't know. Yeah.
Brent Nunley had the same thing happen to his family. He said he lost control also. He lost control of his sticks.
At what percentage?
I don't remember what he said the percentage was. It was somewhere in the chat last night. He was telling me about it. And he said the same thing had happened to him. So that's a Phantom, an Air, and a Mini.
And they're all different batteries too. All different.
The only one that I've heard of that, you know, there is a suspicion that there's a legitimate problem, and I took on board Mel's comment about 90% of the problems with the Mini is operator error or flying it outside of expectations, and that is a problem. You know, people are flying them too far away in too high a wind, expecting them to perform like a Mavic Pro.
Yes.
But you know, there's still a problem totally separate to that with these forced landings. The one that you referred to before, which was, I think, was it Dad Random? I watched the video. There's no explaining that.
No.
And there's been a lot of those. As far as the air, look, I don't want to bag a drone. I'm like you, Jim. You know, which DJI drone do I own? All of them. Which is the only one that I've ever sold? Was a Mavic Air. I don't. Not my favorite drone. And as far as one instance of it happening with the Phantom, let's face it, given enough time, everything's going to happen eventually. But the Mavic Mini is the only one that seems to have a pattern of these reports so far. I'm sure that they're going to release a firmware update which will address the problem. I'm certain that it's software.
Have they released any firmware updates yet for that drone?
One, I think.
They did.
Now they did on that Mavic 2 Pro and Zoom after they had the incident. You originally could not change the discharge date in the app like the Mini is now. They did a firmware update so that you could set it to start storage discharge.
Right, it defaulted to 10. It was 10 days it was set to.
I always put mine to 3 days.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. I don't like mine too. I don't like to rely on it, but it's handy to have it, and I set it to 3 days.
And it works. Mine works. It takes a good day or two to discharge down if it's fully charged. It doesn't happen like real quick. No, it would generate way too much heat if it did that.
I'm sorry, Mel. I disagree. I believe it's a problem with the bird. I respect your opinion, and who knows? We might get down the track and you may be proved right. But the word is even within. They haven't gone public yet, but even within DJI, they're looking at it. We'll see.
Ari, I have a question for you since you're a Phantom 4 Pro guy.
Yeah,
recently, I just purchased a used Phantom 4 Pro version 1. Pretty good condition. It came with 3 high-capacity batteries. Each one was just charged one time. It has old firmware on it. It's like 1.3.59 or 5.7. So I was wondering if should I leave it on that, or because it has very limited things. It doesn't have the panel. It doesn't have a lot of the geofencing that my other drones have. So
you don't have to. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ari.
Look, Jim might have a different slant on this to me. If you're worried about geofencing, you don't buy DJI. That's what Autel is for, in my opinion. I'm of the school of thought with firmware update, because they don't always publicize every change they make, because I think they find it embarrassing. There's little fixes and improvements in every update. The only exception to this, in my opinion, I'm starting to wonder with the remote ID and DJI Phone to Home. Wherever the US goes, the rest of the world follows. Eventually, if you get it, we're going to get it. I might consider stopping updating before that's rolled out.
So I guess the question is just leave it where it's at, because I tested it. It hovers beautifully, and I'm going to be using it for mapping gigs.
Do it. Update it.
No. Wait. Now,
updated or updated?
DJI tells you what each update brings to the table.
No.
If you look at it and see if any of those features are something you want. If they are not, then you don't have to update. Now, sometimes they force you When you start up that drone and try and go and fly, it'll tell you, no, you have to do a firmware update, but not all the time.
Well, being part 107, it's saying that, you should be, aware of the firmware updates, and you should have your rig updated to the most recent firmware. But this thing hovers beautifully, and I've had a Phantom 4 Pro before, and I sold it. One of my biggest mistakes to get Inspire 2. And when I realized what I was doing and what I needed for, it was pointless to have the Inspire 2. So I sold the Inspire 2. And
wait, you could have got the X4S.
I did have the X4S on it, but
that's a mechanical shutter.
Yeah. But it's a big rig. The batteries didn't really last very much, very long when I was doing gigs and stuff with it. It just didn't seem like it was worth keeping. It was more in the box and storage than anything.
It was overkill.
Yeah, exactly.
Here. Jim knows this. I had a birthday recently. My wife handed me a cardboard box, told me that I had to wait until I could open it on a live stream. So I didn't get to open it till last weekend. And that's what came out of the cardboard box. So
nice.
Oh, wow.
I can't complain. I've got three. Two of them airworthy. And like Jim, I've got everything, near enough. If you held a gun to my head and said I had to sell every single one except one, it'd be a Phantom 4 I'd be keeping.
Yeah, that was my biggest regret when I sold it. I'm glad I picked up another one at a good price. But
at a pinch, I can do everything that my other drones can do with a Phantom 4. I might have to struggle a bit, but I can. But because it's the only one that's got that mechanical shutter and the 60 frames a second, I can't do with my Mavic 2 Pro or Zoom or anything else, or my Inspire. I still can't do what I can do with that.
I've been doing photogrammetry with the Inspire 1 since 2017. All you got to do, it's a pain in the butt if you consider it a pain in the butt. Since it is not a mechanical shutter, when you do your waypoints, you have to plan it in the GS Pro app to stop,
slow it,
take a picture, then move on for your next picture. It takes longer. It'll burn up batteries, but you can do it.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. If I'm doing a mapping run, photogrammetry run with the Phantom 4, my go-to settings are 300 feet, 32 kilometers per hour, and 0.5 of a hertz, or one image every 2 seconds. And I just pre-program it and set her off. I can do it with a Mavic 2 Pro, but as Jim said, I've got to come to a halt for every image. And it means what it basically sums up is I get about a third of the coverage per battery on a Mavic 2 as I get from the Phantom.
It's true. So, you're going to go through batteries, yeah.
So in short, you would say probably don't update the firmware on.
I would. If I was you, I would only stop if DJI starts rolling out this. If they start retrospectively rolling out firmware to facilitate this drone to phone business, remote ID, I'd stop updating then. But up to that point, I would take every new update when it comes.
On the Inspire 1s, for instance, I don't update past the 1.4, and there's been a bunch after that. But they're all nonsense. They keep changing the no-fly zones, and oh my God, there's pig farms on there now, I've heard, Mitch.
Really?
Pig farms are now critical infrastructure. I mean, come on, man. You're killing me.
As long as we can fly at the park down there, I'm happy.
Now, let me tell you something, an instance that happened to me. And this is where it's going, guys. I was sitting here flying a highway in the middle of nowhere, and Mitch knows where I'm talking about. He'll tell you it's in the middle of nowhere down in Miko. An airplane flew overhead, and since my Matrice drone has the ADS-B in it, it would not let me fly because there was an airplane overhead.
Wow.
It could have been 10,000 feet high. It doesn't matter. The ICAO number came up, and I was not allowed to take off.
Yep. Wow. And how did you feel about that, Jim?
Oh, God. I can't tell you. I'm in Class G. I have my Part 107. I doubled up on that, and I have certificates of airspace waivers for all of Brevard County, and I still couldn't take off unless I called China.
Yeah, I had that. The last video I put up, which is up on the north coast north of us in the Sunshine Coast. A lot of that was taken within 5 miles of an uncontrolled aerodrome. So that's the first time in
uncontrolled.
Yeah, so in 2 years, that's the first time I've ever had to tick the I take responsibility for flying in this area box. And, you know, I'm allowed to fly there. I've got the REPL, which is sort of like the US 107 plus a little bit.
Right.
And there was an aircraft did take off from the airfield while I was flying. I saw it. I heard it. I turned it. I saw it. I brought the drone down. He never passed within 3 miles of me. It went fine. I knew what to look for. I'd been trained, and I would resent it. I would resent it if I was being limited by mindless software.
That's something we call recreational airfields. Like we have one down in Valkyria. Its actual code is X59. It's not, you know, like a Class D airspace for Melbourne Airport, Mitch.
Yeah.
Valkyria, being a recreational airfield, is non-towered.
Yeah, uncontrolled.
Controlled airspace. And
Yeah.
I still get grief. A guy gave me grief the other day claiming he was a pilot. Aren't you supposed to be 5 miles away from an airport? I said, buddy, number one, I'm a professional. I have my pilot's license. And number two, that's an uncontrolled, untowered Class G airspace. Please go away.
So, Jim, what did you do with Jim? What did you do in that instant when you couldn't launch your matrice? Did you call it a day? Did you have a backup or?
No, I had to sit there and wait for the plane to go away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the good news. At least the thing was moving.
No.
How about all these heliports? Every asshole with a big house and a ranch decides to have his property designated a heliport.
Yep.
And they show up on every one of these maps, all dotted all over the place. You know?
That's true. There's one in Valkyria.
Yeah, and nobody ever flies or a seaplane. Some guy with a pond out behind his house has it designated a seaplane base, and he's on the map and screws up everybody. And nobody ever flies in and out of these things.
Exactly. Is that a fire pond?
I have
a seaplane. Is that a fire pond or something?
No, a seaplane. Anything that takes off the water.
Oh, seaplane. Oh, okay.
But Mitch, if you check, I think I said one of my earlier videos, counting cows and all that, I was taking off from a guy's heliport in his backyard.
Yeah,
in Miko.
They do that. They just,
right.
It's like registering a therapy dog. You just go on the internet, get yourself a certificate, and take that puppy on the plane with you.
Well, we're a bit more sensible here with uncontrolled aerodromes or uncontrolled heliports. Like I've got one about 3 miles from here at the local hospital, uncontrolled heliport. I can fly within 5 nautical miles, provided I exercise due diligence, and so can a recreational pilot. The actual exclusion around an uncontrolled heliport here is only 500 meters, and I can live with that.
Well, legally, we don't have to. We're not restricted to 5 miles from these things. Not legally. It's not controlled airspace. But if you're a pilot, look, I've been flying.
Gentlemen, I have to leave you here. I'm sorry.
I've been a pilot since 1968. A real pilot.
Did they have planes then?
What's that?
Did they have planes then? Oh, Bristol box
they had rubber bands in them, but they were the wings went like this, and I've somehow managed to stay out of trouble for flying for all those years by being a responsible person who knows the rules and obeys them. But the day of trusting human beings to be responsible anymore is over, it seems.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that does it.
Machine, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
Well, no offense, but we have friends who fly illegally. We know that.
Of course we do. I mean, and that's a big problem, unfortunately. Some of our good friends that we really like are putting up stuff on YouTube
that shouldn't be there.
He screams, "Look at me! I'm breaking every law in the book."
The problem here is, Mitch, that they're going so over the top with legislation. I don't know about you, but I find that when I'm flying nowadays, at least 50% of my attention goes to making sure I'm not breaching one or the other of the regulations, and it's counterproductive. In my view, the spirit of the law is to keep people safe. These days, I'm far more focused on the spirit of the law. There are sometimes I will not fly in a legal manner because I consider that it's still unsafe. And there are other times where I'm not focused too much about, I've got to stay 30 meters away from the cattle. If I pass 25 meters from the cattle to have to be further away from the people, I'll do that. It's becoming harder and harder to be compliant all the time. And there's a lot of people I know who are extremely rule abiding. And more they're getting caught out because it's just becoming such a minefield. I know Jim does it. I have to read the updated legislation weekly. It's changing that much, and it's hard. Guys, Jim, thanks for having me on. It's my boy's 16th birthday, and he's making noises like he'd like to open his gift, so I'm going to have to shoot through.
Well, good
Take
to see
care,
you.
Ari.
Good to see you, Ari.
Cheers. Thanks for having me on, and cheers, everybody, and everybody in
Take
chat.
care.
Take care.
Take care, Ari.
Hey, Jim. And Aldias, I got a couple of questions for you. First of all, Jim, when it comes to the AirData, do I log in using my same login information from my DJI Go 4 app, or what?
It'll do it automatically. It's an SDK, like Mitch alluded to earlier. It is getting its information, the same information that DJI has on your remote, and it's just uploading it to AirData.
Okay, so what I'm asking you is, it says register for a free account.
Right.
I'm going to register using my name. It's asking me for my first name, last name, email, and password.
You can make up any name you want. They don't care.
I understand, but how is this going to recognize my information from my drone and the battery?
You will be downloading its app to your control screen. If that's a telephone, if that's a tablet, I use an iPad mini. I have it's a synchronizing app. And you have control whether it updates 20, like I said, 20 flights, the last 20 flights, or a month, 6 months, or all flights. You have control of how many flights you want to go up to it. Yeah, sometimes
I think Dean mentioned for free subscription, I think it's 100 flights or something like that.
Okay.
And you have to restart it.
Is that the one that called? AirData UAV, the AirData HD Sync? That one?
Yes. That's it. That's going to go on your phone or your tablet.
But somewhere in that app, I would imagine, Jim, that when you're installing it on your phone, it's going to be asking you for your DJI account and password.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and that's, I think, what Adrian was asking. How does it know?
Yeah, it's taking the flight data from your controller with your permission to access your controller's account, which is your DJI with your unique identifying number, your UUID.
That's why I'm glad we have Mitch, because you don't know anything, Jim. You don't know nothing.
That's true. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm just trying to live up to
Here it goes.
He calls me the professor, so I have to live up to that.
I'm just so glad that we have Mitch, because if it wasn't for Mitch, we'll be here the whole damn night.
It's a great app. It's a great app to see, where you've been.
Okay, Jim, I'm done with you. I'm done with you, Jim. Go ahead, Aldias.
Hey, Bob, you and I have found ourselves between these two guys, and that's not a place you want to be, between these two.
It's okay, Mitch. I'm done with you for now, Jim. Hey, Aldias, I heard you saying that you have your Part 107, and man, first of all, I've known you for a little bit. I don't know you personally, man, but I want to tell you, hey, congrats, and I'm proud of you, man. When you said that you do a little bit of gig using your drone, that's something that, I love hearing that. It kind of gives me a little inspiration, you know what I mean? Because I would love to do that in the future. You follow me?
Yeah, I hear you.
When you got your Part 107 and you say you do little gigs, if you don't mind telling me when you say gig, what do you do?
Construction progress monitoring. Usually it's monthly or bi-weekly or weekly. I have a client from an Inspect Deploy, and I go out and do construction jobs around this area for different, general contractors. So it varies location, but for the most part, it's around the San Francisco Bay Area. So I'll go out there. I go out there,
That's
I take a series of pictures, from each cardinal position of the building as it progresses. It's actually the framing company I'm doing it for. They're not looking for no beautiful portraits or anything like that. All my images are taken automated via the DJI panel shot. So I use my Mavic 2 Pro, and then I come home and I use PT GUI and I stitch it together, send all the assets to the client, do some 4K footage that they ask for. So it's basically I use Lychee app and I run a 200-foot mission, and it just circles the location, wherever location I'm at. And it just takes, data, video data for the weeks or for the months I do it, depending on what the client wants. So it's really cool. Good, yeah, this is I'm coming up on my second recurrent, so I got to take the test again in August. So yeah, I was when I first started, I was fortunate enough. This guy reached out to me and asked me if I'd be willing to do it, and I've been doing it ever since. So subsidizing the income. Yeah, that's great. It's great. Definitely helps.
You never know what clients are going to want. I had one that actually wanted to see the traffic patterns at a certain time of day. So they were going to decide whether they wanted to build on that location or not. They just wanted to see at 5 p.m. what's the traffic flow at that time. So you never know what you're going to get or what you can get as a commercial pilot.
I did a gig for Amazon, and it was the Amazon deliveries. People use their car to come to your home, and basically I was at one of their centers, and they wanted me to launch every 10 minutes and take video of the incoming cars coming in and loading up. So I guess it was to see how efficient they were when the cars pulled in and they load up their cars.
Right.
I was never told exactly what it was used for. All I was told, hey, we need this. Can you do this? And and I did it. It was easy money.
How did that come about? I mean, did they just contact you through?
No, you was not on doors.
I have my website, and I've reached out a couple of people, and I've actually joined like Droners.io, and you don't get anything from that. And a couple of the websites, but most of the time people, believe it or not, reach out to you, whether if you talk to those people or not. So I think I've been kind of fortunate. Now it's kind of been dried up because I think it's oversaturated, especially around here in the Bay Area. There's a lot of Part 107 pilots.
You'll see companies like Drone Base trying to squeeze you out.
It's a waste of time.
Oh, Drone Base is horrible.
It's a waste of time. Yeah.
Those apps, and this is only my opinion. I can't say anything. Apps like Drone Base and Droners.io, which is run by Precision Hawk, they keep prices at $40, $50. They're junk.
Oh, you got to see some of these job listings. It's ridiculous. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
And they all say
it doesn't pay to get out of bed.
Mitch, they all say only going to take 10 minutes. I only need a few shots.
Yeah.
And then when you get there, it's like an hour because they got a shot list that's ridiculous.
And then you get to find out that it's 10 feet off the approach end of JFK Airport.
Yeah, but the crazy thing is people are bidding the jobs and getting them, and they don't do anything. So you get frustrated and you get upset that people are breaking the laws and rules and taking these jobs. But what can you do? And they're doing it for peanuts.
I get over it, Al. I just get over it. But the only way I've gotten good work is by actually going to the companies. And here's the thing, finding the right guy in that company.
No.
These old guys like Mitch and me, they're closed-minded to that. You get a guy in his 40s, he'll say, you know what? That sounds like a cool idea. That's all you need is just that one guy. And it's hard to find that one guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I started off, I did a couple of free people, and it wound up paying off in the long run. But as of recently, it's kind of slowed up. I'm not going to lie. I think that, like I said, the market's kind of saturated with Part 107 pilots who are taking jobs for peanuts.
Yeah. Right. What Kenny says there is correct. Choose your clients. Don't let them choose you. You know what? If you want a junk picture, go ahead. I'm flying a micro 4/3 camera with 21 megapixels. If you want that guy, go. I won't do it for $40, $50. I'm not going to name you for under 100.
What's up, Drone Worship? Dan?
Oh, Dan's here. Hey, Dan.
You've got to set your standards and then decide whether you're going to keep to them or not.
Yeah, but when you see websites like that, Droners.io, and people are posting jobs and people are bidding it for peanuts, it's fucking pisses me off.
And there'll be 30 people bidding on it too.
Yeah, that's crazy.
They used to send you a whole list of addresses, and they would tell you, go out and take some pictures at each of these things, and then they would try to sell the pictures to a client.
That was Drone Base, yeah.
And if they sold the pictures, then they'd pay you something. So they proposed that to me. I said, "Are you crazy? Are you nuts? You want me to go out and spend days of time and taking all these pictures without any guarantee that you got to sell them to somebody before I can get paid?"
I had to chase Drone Base off of one of my sites.
It was just houses for sale. They were just getting addresses of real estate listings, figuring that they could sell these pictures to the people who were to the realtors that were trying to sell those houses. But no, they never contacted the realtors. They would go to them, but they gave that up, I think. I don't think they do that anymore.
No, they don't do it anymore, but they were doing that.
I think the most craziest inquiry I've ever received, and I actually gave them a bid for it, was bird abatement. It was at a mill feed in Petaluma, and they wanted to test drones to see if they would scare the geese away. And never matriculated and stuff. They wanted me to go out there and do a test run and stuff. And I gave them my bid and I actually spoke to some people on the phone, but it never came into fruition. But I always thought it was kind of funny that I was actually gonna kind of step into that and see what I could do.
You got to watch out. Some of those birds will take out your drone.
You likely.
Yeah, I thought it long and hard afterwards, and I'm kind of glad they actually didn't pursue it further.
But I saw, to further pile on them, I saw them even in the local marketplace, Mitch, on Facebook Marketplace. If people were selling a certain equipment like infrared cameras or something like that, Drone Base was actually, because we all know the names. I'm not going to say them here, but you see them trying to buy that equipment because now Drone Base will not only let you make $40 by taking the picture, they'll send you the infrared camera. This is a $200 job minimum, right? Because it's a $10,000 camera.
Yeah, $200 is light for something like that.
Yeah, but you know where I'm going. Yeah. So now they're starting to buy up all the cameras that people are now selling because they're not getting jobs, the commercial jobs they thought they were going to get. All these, hey, be the drone boss. You're going to make $1 million, So I see this guy, his name starts with an N, trying to buy up infrared cameras because that's what they'll do. They'll send you the infrared camera, tell you to pay you $40 to go do the job, and then you send them the camera back. Yeah, I mean, it's getting that crazy.
That doesn't sound like a real smart thing to do. Oh, man. Hey, Jim, you've been over 2 hours tonight. See what happened to your hour show?
Went out the window. I try not to,
Night train.
We hate dragging these things on.
No, it's all right. It's a good time. I'm going to bug out, though. It's
hold on, Mitch, because I'm not.
Wait a minute, Mitch. Yeah, before
hold on, Jim. Wait a minute. I'm gonna ask Mitch because Jim don't know anything. Hey, Jim. Mitch. I'm sorry. Again, Jim, he don't know nothing. Hey, I need the AirData token, verify the token. What do I do now?
Oh, I don't know anything about AirData. You got to go to Jim for that.
Oh,
sorry.
No. Go ahead, Jim. Talk to me.
Sorry.
If you had checked your email, the token is in your email. But what do I know?
You don't know nothing.
Anyway, Mitch, I was running my fingers along after the flights. I just do this. And this is from a Mavic 2 Pro.
It's cracked.
Look at that.
Did you hit something?
No. This was just a regular air flight.
How old is that prop?
Bumped something or got smashed up against something.
No? It's the only one that has a crack on it, but almost a year old. But how many times have I flown it? I don't know. But I wanted to say that even if you get the Fly More kit, you're only getting 3, and there's 2 blades in each.
Right.
So when you buy the original bird, you're only getting 2 replacement blades, not a full set.
Correct.
And the Fly More gives you a full set, so you're still short.
Hey, you should try the Master Screw air props. They're actually pretty good.
That's what everybody seems to be doing.
I think
they're probably no better, but they're prettier because they have nice, pretty colors.
I got the orange set. It's a lot quieter, and I wasn't able to tell in terms of it flying if there was different flight characteristics.
Right.
But definitely quieter, and I was able to actually see the orange props from a distance, which was weird because I didn't think that would be the case.
That's cool. Master Airscrew. I've been an RC pilot all my life, and we've been using Master Airscrew props since as far back as I can remember. Those boys have been around a long time.
No, it's cheaper than the OEM props too. Yeah, so that's why I went ahead and purchased them.
They make terrific props for model airplanes. Oh, it's incredible business.
I heard Adrian's, as far as I'm concerned, they do get rid of the high end pitch. Now I know a lot because I've seen videos that say Master Airscrew, it's all crap. Have you seen those videos?
I did see those videos.
Yeah.
Okay. I saw one video. I forget who it was, but he actually had side by side. He said with the sound. Here's the Master Airscrew, and there's the head boom. There's the Master, and you could definitely hear a subtle difference in the Master Airscrews seem to be a little lower pitch sound.
Didn't Adrian do a test like that?
Yeah, I saw Adrian's. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Maybe it was yours that I watched.
I thought it was a noticeable difference. I mean, I'm not going to say it was huge, but the high end was definitely lower. But the only other thing I wanted to know is, does it increase flight time?
You know what? I really didn't even pay much attention to that. I was more amazed at being able to see the orange props from the distance. I'm going to have to probably test it again.
Hey, Jay sent you. What is that? Is that Adrian?
I don't know who that is.
He's gone now.
Bob, have you ever gotten any different blades for yours?
Whoa, look who's back.
Yeah, he's back.
You got the Master Airscrews too?
Huh?
You got the Master Airscrews too?
After I seen Adrian that night on Matt's live stream, convinced me. I've seen others, but that was a real convincer.
That's cool. The only other thing I wanted to talk about is, have you guys tried the regular Strobons versus the Arc 2s? From the only place I've seen selling these Arc 2s is Firehouse Technologies.
Those damn things are expensive. They're like $90, aren't they?
I have
$36 each. But
I have the Firehouse set.
These are cheap, like $13. These Strobon. The only problem with them, is the battery is so damn small that it's dead in maybe a month or two. That has been my experience. And the Arc 2s hold their battery.
Yeah.
And I can actually see these in daylight.
Yeah, I've had much better luck with the ones from Firehouse myself.
How much you pay for them, Mel? The Firehouse? Same price?
They were actually a gift, so I didn't have to pay for them.
They're $36 each. You can't get them any cheaper.
But I've got a white, a red, and a blue. A green, I mean. So I can actually light the drone, the way it should be.
That's what mine
starboard and aft. But yeah.
That's left and right to you non-aeronautical boating people. I learned that from boating.
I'm going to head on out and
we should end it while we're on a good.
Don't end it on my account. You got people watching.
I'll see you later, Mitch.
Keep it going. Adrian, good to see you. Al, good to see you. Mel, as usual, and Bob Casey, really good to see you again.
I think it's super cool that Bob came in.
One of my deals.
I told you I will. I will one of these days, buddy.
Okay, I'm looking for you.
And for all the non-nautical people, as Jim referred to them as,
see you, bud.
if you think of the words left and right, the word left
Can
is
someone get off
shorter.
here too, guys?
Well,
I got a big day tomorrow.
you got
36
a big,
years with my wife.
that's a big day.
So it's going to be my anniversary.
Again?
36 years tomorrow with my wife.
Oh, congrats.
Good,
She
good
put
for
up
you.
with my shit for 36 years. God bless that woman because she needs all the blessings she can get. Oh, I'm going to take her out to eat, I guess. That's what we're going to do. She likes seafood, so that's what we're going to do.
So
There
There you go. Have a good time.
Thank you.
thanks so
Pleasure
much for
meeting you.
coming on, Bob.
Hey, it was good to be on. Thanks for having me, Jim.
I really appreciate
Mel,
it.
see you, Mel.
Bob,
You guys have a good one.
Take care.
All right.
is my audio coming through?
Yeah, Adrian
Okay.
couldn't hear you.
Is Adrian gone? Did he leave?
Yeah, he jumped out.
Oh,
I don't know why. Every time he comes on, sometimes it's his cords,
oh,
and he has to go out and come back in. I noticed that on Matt's stream too, Matt North.
oh, wow. I was going to tell everybody that's, as Jim referred to them as non-nautical people. The words port and starboard. The word port is shorter, of course. It's only 4 letters.
Red, right, returning.
The same with left and right. Left is only 4 letters. So if you match the 2 4-letter words, left is always the port side. That's an easy way to remember it.
Dan should know that with his boat. All the rats are jumping ship, Sly Dad says. All right, guys, let's wrap it up. Al, thanks a lot, man. I appreciate
Hey, Jim. Mel, thanks for having me on, man. I appreciate it. It's been fun. A lot of good information and very useful information. So we'll catch you on the next one.
And I only came in at the very end again here just to say, good job on the stream, Jim. There was a lot of good information, a lot of good conversation. It was very enjoyable.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me on.
All right, guys, take care. I'm going to
Al.
go make some dinner. You guys take care, everybody in the chat. Take care. Thanks
I'm
again.
going to jump, Jim, and let you wrap up.
All right, buddy. Thanks, Al. All right, guys. Thank you to everybody for coming. I really appreciate it. And I hope we learned a little something. I want to jump a little into software next time because I know the one thing I found out was when I did a little thing on Facebook, everybody was using different editing software. It's wild. So maybe we can talk about that next time. Peace all. Thank you very much. Have a great night. Bye-bye.